Hi everyone, today we're going to decorate these rolling pins that came from Poundland.
Okay, so we're going to paint the rolling pins in two different colours. It's a Vintage with Grace paint that I'm using. I'll pop the details for that in the description down below. But what I also will be doing with this tutorial is offering some napkins and some bits as like a bundle that you can buy from me if you want to have a go at doing this yourself. So for one of them, I'm going to be using this napkin, and I'm going to use it with this paint, and I'll show you the other one in a second. So I'm just going to start by putting a layer of the chalk paint over the top, and you don't need any sanding, you don't need any primer, you don't need anything. You just have to go straight over the top with the paint. And this is kind of, I mean, my lights are not very good in here, but it's a sort of it's got a brown in it. It's also got grey tones as well, but it's a really nice colour. And the reason I picked this is it's going to work really well with the napkin that we're going to use. So all you have to do to start with, I'm going to give this a couple of coats, is give it one coat, let it dry, then give it another coat, and then let that dry, and then we'll start and decorate it with the napkins. Now, if you haven't seen napkins being used for decoration before, decoupage, then it's a real simple, easy technique, and it was one of the first things that incidentally I actually started doing crafting. It's really fun. So it is, you know, it's quite addictive too. I'll just show you the paint, and this is the bluey colour that I'm going to use. I'll finish doing that one in a second. And this is the napkin that I'm going to use for it. A good tip is to look out for the background, so the colour background that you've got, and that's why I've kind of gone for that blue. So I'll just do the same. I also said I will do the end of that in a second. I just needed something to kind of hold on to. And this is a real nice pale colour. Now, as you can see, this has got a couple of dents in it, but seriously, that won't matter. When we've finished sort of decorating it and painting it, you won't even really notice those. But the kind of the farmhouse shabby chic look, it doesn't matter if you've got sort of dents and sort of dips in it. You can also distress them, you know, if you wanted to distress them, you could put a darker colour underneath and then a lighter colour over the top, and then maybe wet distress or sand, you know, the other colour underneath through. So there's loads of different ways that you can do it. So I'm going to let these dry, paint the other end, give it another coat, and then I'll be back with you. Now we've got the fun part, so we're going to start and decorate them. So we're completely dry, so we'll do this one first. Now, if you haven't done decoupage before, it's really easy to do, and it's really quite fun. It looks really effective. You can use all sorts of things: papers, newspapers, rice paper, napkins. There's decoupage paper that you can use as well. Today we're going to use a napkin. Now, napkins are normally 3-ply, which means they're 3 layers to them. And if I just separate them there, you can see that they're 3 layers. And the only one we'll be using is the top layer. So I can show you now how we take the image off here and we can transfer it onto something else. So what you'll need is quite a thin paintbrush and some water, and you want to work out what pattern or image that you want to put on your piece. So, I mean, as this is sort of curved, it's not going to have like a full flat image. So I might put something like this one on, and all you have to do, sometimes, I mean, you can cut around it to start with if you want to, but what I do is I go round with a little paintbrush and some water, and we'll wet in around the edge, and this will enable us to be able to rip the napkin, and the ripped effect helps it to blend in much better. So you can actually do this technique on loads of things. So you could use it on, when we're doing it on a rolling pin, but you can use it on cupboards, units, chairs. Honestly, the list is completely endless. So what you do is you just start and rip around where you've just put the water, and you're getting the image that you want. And then once we've done that, we're going to separate them. So we've just got the top layer. Now, normally what I do is just roughly cut out first and then go around with the water. It just makes it a little bit less fiddly if you've got less of the napkin to cope with. So I'll save that for now. And then you've got this part here. So you can work out how close you want to go to the actual picture, the design that you want. You can take a little bit more off, but just be careful. They are really delicate, and you just have to be careful that you don't sort of rip, but you can generally, you know, mix and match and patch things up quite easily. So once you're at this stage, you need to separate the napkins. I just do that by licking my fingers and it just comes away, and there's two there, and the top part, as I said to you before, is the bit that we're going to use. So mediums, you can use all sorts of different glues. Two of my favourites are Mod Podge. I've got these smaller sizes, and if I just reach around onto my shelf, I have these larger sizes that are going on the website to buy. So at the end of this, you will get the option if you wanted to order some of these as well. I'm going to use this Fairy Chic matte finish. This is also going to be available to buy. I've ordered some of this, so you'll be able to buy this too. They are glues, so that's basically what they are, and they're sealers. This one tends to be a little bit thinner than the Mod Podge. And what I do is pour some in the lid. Whatever I'm using, I just pour a little bit out. I don't ever dip it in the pot. And then we're going to take some cling film. Now the cling film helps you to smooth your image out, and it helps you sort of be able to touch it and rub it, because if you did it with the brush, you would more than likely rip the napkin, because they are really delicate. So we've got a brush here. You can get decoupage brushes. If I just again reach round, these are decoupage brushes, and these will be available on the website. For something like this, that would be quite a good one. You could use the bigger one if you wanted sort of a bigger surface. So that's the sort of thing you could use as well. These are also really good. These are Decoupage brushes, the first edition. They're not blue. Mine's just turned blue, but it is clean. Although it's blue, it is clean. So what you need to do is to get your glue, your sealer, whatever you're using. And this is just going straight onto the painted piece. So you just put this straight on. This hasn't been sealed with anything. It's just going straight on. And we're going to glue an area. And then we're going to stick this over the top very gently. And then in comes our cling film. And this helps us to press it down. Now, if you find when you go down you've missed a part where you've not got glue on, I've got glue all the way around there, but you can just pop some glue underneath and that will be fine. Now there are different techniques for adhering napkins and things like that, and we will be doing some different techniques. When you're putting it on, just be very careful if you're doing this and going straight over the top with a brush, because this is when it rips. But as you can see, what we've done now is we've just transferred that image onto the rolling pin. So we're going to let that dry, and once that's dry, we'll go over it again with a layer of the glue. So I'm going to put some more of the napkin on maybe a different part of the rolling pin. I've not decided yet, so I might put something else there, maybe something on the back, or I mean I could leave it like that. It looks quite pretty because we are going to decorate another part of it as well. So I'm going to do exactly the same thing with the blue rolling pin. So if I just bring that in, this is the blue one, and this is the napkin that I'm going to use for that. So I'm just going to do exactly the same. I tend to open the napkin out and just have a look, you know, what we've got. But look at this corner here. You could actually take the whole of that. If you've got like a big unit or a mirror or something like that, you could take the whole of this, and that gives you a really nice corner. If you just wanted a small piece, so you wanted this yellow piece, you could cut round with a bit of scissors a little bit larger than the size you want, and then you can kind of break it in there so it kind of naturally looks like it should be one flower. I think that yellow flower is really pretty. We've also got these that we could use. Look, they're quite nice. That would look nice on there as well. So I'm just going to do that now, exactly the same way that I've just shown you there, and then we'll start and decorate with ribbon and lace. We'll decorate the blue one first. We're going to do this really simply. I have some ribbon here, some organza ribbon. So I'm just going to cut off a piece. I've just guessed it. And all I'm going to do is tie it around the top. We're just going to tie it into a bow. And that's literally what we're going to do for this one. Just thought something maybe simple and just pretty would look quite cute. Oh, this blue's lovely. I really like it. So we'll just do that, and we'll just cut the corner bits off as well. Down there. So cut these at a bit of an angle at the bottom. And then do the same, just measure it and do the same on this side. And then what I'm going to do, I'll neaten that up. As you can see, there's the bow there. I think that looks really cute. I'm going to do another one on the other side as well. And there we go. So that's them done. I've just put a bow on both sides, and I think that looks really, really, really cute. That will make a real nice addition to any like farmhouse or shabby chic kitchen or something like that. You could, if you wanted to, not put a bow on one side and maybe stand it in a pot or something like that. You could do a few as like a little arrangement and have them kind of standing upwards out the pot. That would look really good too. So that's that one, and we'll just start and put the lace and ribbon on the next one now. For this one, I've looked in my stash. I've got quite a few bundles that I haven't even used. So I've just got some ribbon, lace, just a bit of a mixture. I also found these flowers. These are from Wild Orchid Crafts. So I'll put the link for Wild Orchid Crafts in the description below. So if you want to go and have a look and see if they have any flowers you could use if you made one. And I've put my hot glue gun on as well. So what I'm going to do is to just cut some lengths here. And I'm going to just attach these to one part of the rolling pin. So I'm just going to go on to this part and have this as the top. So I'm just going to tie that in a knot like that. I might do it at the side actually, so they sort of all come down the side, and we can hide the tie part, so don't worry about that. And then I'll just do the same bit that side. But I was thinking actually while making these, they'd make quite nice wedding gifts too, and quite inexpensive. So you could maybe even personalise them or something like that. So put those on. I've got some ribbon. This is quite nice as well. It's like it almost looks like it's been tea dyed. It's like a biscuit colour. And I think for this one, I might tie it in the middle. So it's just a case of layering different kind of feels, different fabrics all together. And you can look about for little scraps and things that you've probably got, maybe into shops or markets or things like that, seeing if you can find some bits and pieces and odds and ends you can use. You could also, another little idea, if you've got some fabric, some clothes, you could cut some strips off those. You could do them as like a frayed effect if you wanted to, or you could, you know, sort of mix and match and do all sorts. So I'm going to roughly cut these if some are a bit too long. I don't want them to be dead straight, but I want them to be roughly the same size. I'll just tie this one at the side as well. It's gone quite warm actually down the craft room. It was okay this morning. It wasn't too warm. We've dropped Courtney off. She's gone on a trip for a week. And she's back for the weekend and then she's going again. So we were up quite early this morning. But it seems to have got quite warm now. So I'll just cut those. I'm going to cut them at an angle so they don't really fray. And then at the top, you've got a bit of a choice really. You can put all sorts of embellishment, butterflies, bows. Gosh, there's a massive choice at the top. You could always use some thick organza ribbon, do a big massive bow. That would look really nice. I'll show you these, what this would look like. These are the Wild Orchid craft flowers. They do different sizes as well, so you don't have to just get big ones. I'll just grab some out of this basket here. They do loads of different sizes. I mean, that's quite a nice size too, isn't it? But I just wanted to show you what they would look like on. And we'll need the hot glue gun for that. So that's the ribbon and lace part done. I've also got some of these beads. Now these came from Poundland in their wedding kind of section, but they're really handy for crafts. So I'm just going to put one string of these on, and I think probably what I'll do is just tie them and glue, pop a little bit of hot glue just to hold them there. And then we sort of want those to blend in the bottom. So for the top, I've got some of this organza ribbon here. So I just made a bow out of that just to show you how you could do it. This is just a real simple, I just literally tied a bow. So you could, if you wanted to, just put that on the top. So I think that looks really nice, just like that as it is. You've got the flowers here. If you wanted to, you could also put some flowers maybe underneath, or you could just put a selection of flowers on the top, but I really like the bow idea, and this will hide all of this in the middle. So just put loads of glue. Be careful with hot glue, because I've burnt myself many a time on hot glue. My subscribers that have been with me a while will remember that. There's a fly in the craft room. It's really annoying. Hopefully you can't hear it. So there's that part there. Another thing I wanted to show you, we've got Jane from the Crafting Shed Davis actually made this for me. I've made some similar things, but that on a smaller scale would look really pretty at the top. Obviously it's too big, that size, but something like that would be really nice. And Jane made that for me a while ago, but I've got that down in the craft room, so that would look really pretty. I've made them on the channel, so I don't know whether there should be a tutorial for them somewhere. I think I just need to do the corners on this bottom part there. That just gives it the bow look and stops it fraying a bit, but that would look nice. But the bow was just dead easy to do. I literally just tied the bow, so that needs to stick a bit more before that's set. And because they've got the wire on the edges, you can kind of hold them up and the bows stand up a little bit better. Right, so that's it. I'm not going to put anything else on that because I think it's got more than enough. So we've got one that's a bit fancier, a bit frillier, and then we've got one that again still floral, but it's not as sort of fussy. So it's just, you can do them as to whatever design you like. And as I say, these would make really nice presents, and I think they'd make a real nice addition to any home. So stay tuned if you'd be interested in buying any supplies. I'll pop the details on after this. Right, so I'm going to run through the kits with you. I've got 3 different kits. The first one is just the napkins. So we've got 4 napkins. So these are the 2 that we used today. So we have that one there. this blue one, and we have 2 additional ones here. We have this green one. So these are just 30p each, so 4 of them is £1.20. Okay, so as you can see, they're really beautiful. And postage on that, this is going to be UK only. I've just got to get to grips with postage, so bear with me to start with. So postage for kit 1 is 80p. So kit 1 is £2 including postage. Now every kit has all 4 napkins in. So this is the first kit. The second kit, you will get all of those 4 napkins and this as well. So if you want to make this particular project, this would be ideal. We have 1/2 metre of the organza wired ribbon, and we have 1 metre of these different laces here. We have 1 metre of the white ribbon, and we have 1/2 metre of the beads. Now I'm limited on stock of these. I don't have too much, so the napkins would be £1.20 and these are £2.50, so that's £3.70 in total for these, and postage, including postage, it's £5. So the kit 2 is £5 and you will get all of this including postage. And now I'll just show you kit 3. Kit 3 is the 4 of the napkins. It is a 4 fluid ounce bottle of the Mod Podge. That's more than enough to get you going. And also one of the official Decoupage brushes. These are really nice. They're nylon brushes and they are really, really nice. So this set here is going to be £6 for this, and postage unfortunately has to be £3 because of the thickness of the Mod Podge. So that makes this set £9. So that's the 3 kits that we have. Kit 1, which is £2, kit 2, which is £5, and kit 3, which is £9. So if you do want those, you need to email me. Please don't just ask in the comments, because it looks like people, you know, are pushing in or whatever. I need you to email me if you'd like to order them, and you would need to be able to pay by PayPal, please. We are setting the website up, so there'll be different ways that you can pay, but at the moment I've got people asking me for some supplies, so I thought I'd do it this way. So email me to you know, just say that you like them. The email address is toyshobbiesandcrafts@gmail.com, and let me know which kit you would like. They are very limited, only a handful of kits I have, but if you would like them, then let me know. Right guys, I've just had a delivery from Paul at the Fairy Chic Emporium. We've got a couple more products that I can add to an order. So if you want to order these, let me know. We've got the matte finish, which is the 500ml, which is exactly the one that I used. That's £11.95. Or you can have it in the 250ml, which is the smaller size, for £6.95. I am going to be doing smaller pots. We're just sorting those out at the moment. So if you want these, we can add these to any order. Also, I haven't used these in this video, but these are the highlighting wax. We've got gold and we've got silver. So if you look at them there, these are fab. You can use these on furniture and all sorts of different projects. It just gives a really nice sort of gold or silver tint to sort of distressing and things like that. And these are £5.95 each. So if you want any of these, guys, then let me know. You can send me an email. I can add them to any napkins that you want, or I can just send these out to you. Okay, so thank you so much again, and I'll see you all soon. Bye for now.